Hello, I am Zero Budget Geek, and welcome to Let's Play Sentinels of the Multiverse. In this episode, we are facing off against the villain Omnitron. As seen here, he is the self-aware robotics factory, and during the game, he's going to be flipping over to his Rampaging Robot side and back over to his factory side. As you can see, he's a difficulty 1, but don't let that fool you, because he's going to be pretty difficult because of the environment we're in. We're in the ruins of Atlantis, which is problematic. And in this episode, we're bringing Tachyon, the quickest woman on Earth, Fanatic, the avenging angel, the mighty Ra, god of the sun, and the indestructible Bunker, and last but not least, Absolute Zero, one of my favorite heroes. Let's get to it. Let's get to it, shall we? Alright, do a little loading and let's jump in and see what Omnitron's gonna start off with. Alright, he's rampaging and he does some sedative flechettes, which isn't too bad. Actually, that's a good time for it to happen because it destroys ongoing cards and we don't want that to happen, but it is gonna do 6 damage to each player, which is not a great way to start, but I'd rather just take the damage and not. Oh my god, and he played a technological singularity, which is another bad card that destroys all equipment cards, but perfect start to this game because those are 2 of his most deadliest cards and got him out of the way. So Tachyon's going first. She's the fastest woman in the world, and what we're going to do with her, we're going to play a nimble strike, doing a damage to him, and she can draw a card. Boom, and she draws a sucker punch. And then she's going to use her power, Rapid Recon, look at the top card of her deck, and she's going to choose to discard it because she wants to get some of her cards that let her draw more cards. Tachyon's all about speed. Now we're at Fanatic. Let's see, what can Fanatic do? Lots of different moves. I think I'm going to do this Sanctifying Strike. It'll let her do a damage, draw a card, and regain a hit point. So that's not too bad at all. It's basically a free card play. She draws a card for that, gains a health, and now she's going to do her ability, which is Exorcism, which will do 1 melee damage and 1 radiant damage to Omnitron. And she draws a card. Alright, off to Ra, who is basically our powerhouse of damage. So let's see, he's going to play his Summon Staff. Even though I already have a staff here, I'm going to play the Summon Staff anyway, because it's going to search for his deck for the card, so I'll have an extra one in hand and it'll let me play a card anyway. So I'll play one of those Staves of Ra, which will give me 3 hit points, and now can do an attack. I will use his regular power to do 3 damage to Omnitron. And we draw a card, and now it's off to Bunker. So Bunker and the next character are a little bit slow because they have to sort of build up their turn. So we're gonna play this adhesive foam grenade, which will force the environment to not play a card this turn, and then he's gonna use his special ability, which is initialized to draw a card, and he draws a maintenance unit. Alright, now we're on Absolute Zero. So Absolute Zero, here's one of his most important cards, is Isothermic Transducer. He's going to play that. Anytime he takes fire damage, he can turn it into cold damage and attack the enemy. And that's what his special ability is. He's going to do Thermodynamics, which damages himself, and he can choose to make it fire or cold. I'm going to make it fire, and it reacts, and then it lets me redirect cold damage to the enemy. And he drew a card, which is a Code Snap. That's a great card. Okay, so now the environment goes, but because of our adhesive foam grenade, it does not get to do anything as planned. Alright, Omnitron, what you doing? Bring out some drones. Alright, he brings out an assault drone. That'll do some damage. And not much. We could deal with that. And we're back to Tachyon. What is she gonna do here? How many we have 2 burst cards, so we can do this Sonic Vortex, which will let us hit 2 enemies. So we'll hit this assault drone for 3 damage, and we'll hit Omnitron as well. Alright, and she's going to use her power of Rapid Recon, Looking at the top card of the deck, yeah, she's gonna discard that as well. Now, if you notice, a lot of her cards have the burst, you know, tag to it. So having those in her discard pile will help her. So that's why I'm being kind of free with discarding cards with her. Let's see. I could do this final dive. Final dive is kind of nice. It kills a low hit point enemy and hits the boss with it, but not gonna do that because he's kind of low. So I'm going to play Absolution, which will give Fanatic a hit point and I can use it to attack. So I'm going to use that. Who do I want to use it on? I think I'm going to use that on, I'm gonna make it melee damage and I'm gonna hit Omnitron with it. I think I'll use Absolute Zero to take out that drone later. And she draws a card and we go to Ra. And what is Ra going to do? Look, I think he's going to play this Flesh of the Sun God. It makes him immune to fire damage, so we'll play that. And he's going to use his power to hit Omnitron for 3 damage. Boom. And he draws a Staff of Ra. Alright, bunkers up. Alright, and let's see here. Once again, I'm going to... some of this stuff is good to get started yet, but just to give us a good start, I'm going to play another adhesive foam grenade and keep that environment from doing its shenanigans. And he's going to use his initialized power to draw a card. Draws a flat cannon. Alright, so now we can start putting some of those cards into play. But then he's gonna redirect that damage as cold damage to the drone, killing it. And he draws his other good card, so he's almost online. And environment gets nerfed again because of our adhesive foam grenade. And we're back to Omnitron, and now he's rampaging. He pulls out another assault drone, or actually one from the discard pile, and an automation drone. So, got some damage coming our way, quite a bit. Alright, so Tachyon, what is she going to do? Well, she can only play one card, which would be this Lightspeed Barrage, which would do 3 damage to something. So we'll play that Lightspeed Barrage. We'll hit the automation drone just because it has more health and whittle it down. And then she's going to use her Rapid Recon power to look at... Alright, so we're not going to discard that. That's a good card. That'll help us get to the cards that we really want. Alright, and Fanatic's up. Okay, so here we go. What I was talking about before. Fanatic's going to use this final dive. And she's going to use it on the assault drone. She's going to pick it up and slam Omnitron with it. Bada bing, bada boom. And then she's going to use her Absolution power. I think I'm just going to take out this... actually, no. I'm going to use it on Omnitron. We'll let Absolute Zero take out that drone. And she draws a card. And Ra steps up. And what do we got here? What do we got here? So we don't want to use this Imbued Fire because that's just going to mess up Absolute Zero's abilities. So I think we're going to do this Solar Flare, increase fire damage that Ra does. And he's going to use his Pyre ability and blast Ra for 5 damage. But at the end of his turn, that Solar Flare, is it at the end of his turn? Yeah, I can choose to take 4. I'm going to take the 4 damage for now. And then next turn do more damage, but I can't keep doing that. Alright, Bunker's up, and he's going to throw out this flat cannon. And he's going to start doing damage with it. It does 3 damage to one target. I'm going to use it on Omnitron. Boom. And he draws another adhesive foam grenade. That's kind of nice. Alright. Absolute Zero does 1 damage to everybody. can play a card. So this no point calibration unit is a great card. It will let him use his cold damage as a healing, but I'm going to play this focus apertures, which does increases all the cold damage that he deals. And so he's gonna do 1 fire damage to himself, but his transducer reacts and it's gonna do 1 damage, but because of the focus apertures it'll do 2 damage and take out those drones or drone. And he draws his onboard module installation, which is a great card. Alright, now finally in the environment goes, and it's probably gonna be something bad. Alright, hallway collapse. This will do 3 damage to everybody, but it also gets rid of itself, so it's sort of a one-shot card. Alright, we took a lot of damage there. Not fun, not fun. But we got Omnitron nearly halfway. Alright, he goes and he's gonna play his adaptive plating subroutine, so not good. And he plays an assault drone. So that adaptive plating subroutine will make him immune to damage right after he's hit with it. Can I get rid of it with this? Yes, I can get rid of an ongoing card with that. And I think that's what I'm going to do, because I really don't want that card in play. I would have preferred to do the research grant, but I just want to do as much damage as I can to him as soon as possible. So we get rid of that adaptive plating subroutine. And Takian's going to do rapid recon on herself. She does want to keep that card, so I will not discard it. And I draw that card. Alright, Fanatic. Alright, what is she gonna do? What is this Sacrosanct Martyr? She can deal herself damage, and alright, that's not what we want to do right now. Well, the choices are kind of draws a card, and Ross steps up. He's gonna ignore that drone and go straight for the big boss. None of these cards are great. I guess the best thing for him would be this. I mean, I could choose to not play a card. That's okay. I'll play this excavation for lack of anything else better to do, and I'll throw that whole hallway collapse underneath the environment deck and draw a card, which is Flame Barrier, which is great. That's a good card. Alright, he's going to do his fire attack and shoot Omnitron for 5 damage. Bloom. Alright, because that solar flare. And he draws a summon staff card. I'm not going to do more damage to him, so he's going to let that solar flare go. He can't keep doing that each round. Okay, alright, Bunker's gonna play this maintenance unit, which when he uses it as his power for the turn, it'll heal him. And he's gonna do this flat cannon to blast Omnitron. Notice I'm ignoring the drone because Absolute Zero's code snap will destroy it for me. And he draws a card, and then we have the environment. Let's see what kind of nastiness it does. I really hate the Ruins of Atlantis. The Kraken, sorry. At the end of my turn, this card deals the non-environment card with the lowest hit points, I believe it said, damage. So I hit somebody. Alright, Omnitron puts a repair drone. That's okay, we can deal with that. And an electromagnetic railgun, which we can also do. Now that railgun's kind of interesting. His component cards, as long as I do 7 damage to Omnitron, he'll lose those cards. So I could almost ignore the card. And let's see. So I think now's the time for the research grant. Even though this Kraken, that Kraken's just. Oh no. Okay. Yeah. I can silence that Kraken with my hypersonic assault. Does Fnatic have anything to deal with that Kraken yet? No, she doesn't. Oh, actually, she does. So we're gonna put this research grant, and I'm gonna use that research grant to draw 2 cards and then discard a card. There we go. I was looking for the HUD goggles, and I have to discard a card, so we'll discard this Sucker Punch. Get rid of that. Oh, I have to discard. No, that's it. Oh, I didn't take. All right, now it's discarded. And I draw another HUD goggles. Whoa, man, they'll pack together. All right, Fnatic will choose, so she can choose 2 things to not do damage. So the Kraken will now not do damage, and the Repair Drone, which doesn't do damage anyway, but neither one can do damage anyway, in case something changes. All right, and she can still play a card. So, man, she can do a chat with Chastise. All right, Chastise, that's okay. I don't want to use that. Wow. None of these are that great. So she's just gonna put out the Sacrosanct Martyr. But she's not gonna use that card. She's gonna just once again go with Absolution and do some damage. She's gonna do some melee damage too. Don't want to do it to the drone. Yeah, do it to the drone. Lower it down. Take a Staff of Ra and throw it at Omnitron, dealing 4 damage, and that destroys the Staff of Ra. That way, so later on another turn I can play another Staff of Ra to give him some health, if he survives long. I did not pay attention to how much damage he was taking. Alright, Bunker's stepping in, and he's going to play this turret mode card. So this is what Bunker's good at. He's got these mode cards, so this will let he won't be able to play or draw cards, but he'll be able to do 2 powers per turn and do an extra damage. So we're gonna play that so he can do a maintenance unit and heal himself, and then he's gonna do a flat cannon at Omnitron. And so now officially we have Omnitron below half his life. Alright, and now we have Absolute Zero. He's going to do 1 damage to everyone, or 2 damage to everyone with his Code Snap. And let's see, what is he gonna do? I think I'm just gonna play this Glacial Structure, but I'm not really gonna use him. I'm just throwing it out there because I want him to do his fire damage to himself, which will react and do 2 damage to Omnitron. And he drew another Code Snap, but that is a limited card, so I can only have 1 in play at a time. Alright, and we have the Environment, Toxic Seaweed. Whenever we use a power, we'll take damage, and there is a way to get rid of it. At the end of the environment turn, 1 player may discard their hand to destroy this card, so yeah, I think we want to do that. And looking at the characters, I think actually I'm going to let Absolute Zero discard his hand to get rid of that Toxic Seaweed, because all those cards he had in his hand he didn't really need anymore. He had what he needed in play. Alright, Omnitron's going, and he puts out another railgun and an assault drone. This is not going to be good. Alright, as long as Ra doesn't get hit is what I was a little bit worried about. Alright, and so let's see here. So we're going to play these HUD goggles, which will let me play 2 cards a turn. I'm going to play this Fleet of Foot. Each player may draw a card, and then I may play a card. So, ooh, I wanted that Blinding Speed. Very good. Alright, and then she's going to get to play a card. I think we want to do, is this the time to do the Hypersonic Assault? We could do Blinding Speed. We're going to do Hypersonic Assault. Just do a damage to everything, and everything that takes damage won't be able to do damage. So we're really controlling. We're going to do this Research Grant to draw 2 cards, and then discard a card. Alright, we have enough HUD goggles, so we're going to toss one away. Start your turn. You may discard a card. If you do, oh yeah, I'm gonna do. All right, this is an okay card, but not that great. But I can use it to turn some of these useless cards that I have into attacks at the boss. All right, we're going to hit. What do we want to hit? We're going to hit with radiant damage. We're gonna hit Omnitron. She draws a card. Rock comes up. And oh, okay. So every turn she can discard a card. So she's going to discard this Prayer of. Actually, no. She's gonna hold on to that. She's gonna discard this Embolden. I'm not gonna use. I'm not planning on it. And it does 2 damage to Omnitron. And Ra needs to. Okay, I remember what we were gonna do. Again, we're going to play this Summon Staff just to be able to draw more cards. He draws an Infernal. That's a nice card. And then he's going to play the Staff of Ra to give himself some healing. It's not much, but, you know, it may matter. Sometimes it's a difference of 1 damage. And he's going to use his power to... do we want to hit the Assault? We're going to hit Omnitron because the Assault Drone is under the effects of Fanatic's no damage dealing card. And he draws a Fire Blast. Ooh. We're getting very close to being able to smack down Omnitron. Alright, I have the option to destroy this turret mode. I'm not. He's pretty good. Fanatic can choose to discard a card. She's going to discard this Wrathful Retribution. Let's do 2 damage to Omnitron. She's not going to be able to do that for too long. Alright, he's going to do a maintenance unit and heal himself. And then Bunker will fire the Flak Cannon at Omnitron. And we're just focusing everything on him. I want to take him out as soon as possible. And also, I don't want this video to be crazy long. So, do 1 damage to everything. Or 2 damage. I keep forgetting he's got the... he's boosting his own attacks. And she can choose to discard a card. No, we're going to... do this smite the actually that is not, I'm gonna use the chastise. Lost that. Do some damage to Omnitron. And now Absolute Zero. What's he gonna do here? Right, he can't play this card here because it's limited. So he's just down to just using a power on himself. Yeah, I'm gonna do the fire damage to himself and redirecting his cold damage to the boss. Alright, he's getting low, so at a certain point I'm gonna have to start healing with him. But that's what I like about him, is that he can deal out damage and then he can sort of switch his role and start healing himself. And let's see, does Fanatic want to discard a card? Yeah, you know what, she's gonna discard this one. That's probably gonna be the last one she's gonna discard. This is the environment turn. So mystical defenses. So this is just going to be a turret that's going to shoot everybody for 2 damage, killing off that drone for me, which is kind of nice. And we'll be able to silence that with Ra damaged it with his flame barrier, but he did take some damage. Alright, let's see what Omnitron's gonna do here. Does she want to? So she's not gonna discard a card anymore. She's done with that. He puts out a repair drone, that's fine. He's rampaging, he puts out that adaptive plating subroutine. Do I have something to get rid of it? Let's see, Tachyon most likely would be the one, and she does. Alright, Fanatic's not going to discard a card, skip that. And Tachyon can play 2 cards from her hand. How many burst cards are? She has 6 burst cards. So this light speed barrage gets stronger the more burst cards there are in her trash. But I think what we're going to do is we're going to do this blinding speed to destroy that adaptive plating subroutine and get rid of that headache. And do I want to do this hypersonic assault? Nah, not really. I'm gonna actually prepare this synaptic interruption, which stops any damage that Tachyon would take, and do it to an enemy of her choice. She's gonna use a research grant, draw some cards, and then discard a card. We're gonna discard that other research grants because we don't need that. And she draws a card. Back to Fanatic. What you gonna do? Alright, so I'm gonna shut down a couple of these guys. I'm gonna shut down the Kraken. And I'm gonna shut down the mystical defenses. Quiet, you two. Alright. If she takes no damage this way, discard it. So I'm not going to take that. I don't want to take that damage. No. Get rid of that card. Alright, and let's see. So she's going to, right, that's what I was. So I'm going to use this Smite the Transgressor. It'll let her do damage and use an additional power this turn. So she's going to use it on Omnitron to do 2 damage to him. And then she's going to use Absolution to do some melee damage to Omnitron. And she can use an extra power this turn. She's going to use her regular exorcism power to damage him some more. Dunk, dunk. And she draws a Holy Nova. That's nice. That'll help us. Alright. And we've got him on the ropes over here. So, what am I going to do? Do a Scorched Earth, which would do 3 damage to everything. But I think I'm just going to do this Fire Blast, which will do a bunch of damage. And we're going to do that right to Omnitron's dome. 6 damage to him. Blam. And if I could only do it again, I'd take him out. But okay, we got him this round. He's gonna take the Staff of Ra and he's gonna break it over Omnitron's head for 4 damage. Bang. And he draws a card. And Bunker's gonna come up. Do I want to destroy turret mode? Hells to the no. And he's going to use his 2 cards that he's been doing. He's going to do maintenance unit to heal, and going to do this blast not at Omnitron but at this drone over here. Oh, that's going to kill it. Alright, that's alright. Because our main man over here, Absolute Zero, is going to finish off Omnitron without even having to do anything. His Code Snap will do it. Blam right there. Destroys him, and he is defeated. So that is Sentinels of the Multiverse and the villain Omnitron. Guys, thank you for watching this video with me and joining me on this adventure. Stay tuned. I'm going to be doing some strategy guides based around each character, each villain and environment. They're going to be short videos, so keep on the lookout for those, and I'm going to be doing more playthroughs of this game with the various villains. So until next time, you guys take care. Thank you very much.